Hello everyone, and thank you very much for joining this EU Info Day to present our next business mission at KIMES in 2026. My name is Laura, and I will present today with my colleagues Radavi and Paolo. They will introduce themselves a bit later during the session. We can go over the agenda for today. So we will start with a small introduction about the program. So what is the EU Business Hub? Then we will present you more the market trends in the Republic of Korea concerning healthcare and medical equipment. Then we will go more deep into details into the mission at KIMES in 2026. Then we will present you the eligibility criteria, see who can apply to the mission. Then how you can apply, and then we will provide you with some tips and tricks for a successful application. We will finish the session with a Q&A, so don't hesitate. If you have any question, you can always drop them in the chat or ask them at the end of the session. The objective is really to provide you with as many information as possible about the mission, so really don't hesitate. So we will start with a small overview of the history of the program. So the EU Business Hub is a long-standing initiative for B2B cooperation between the European Union and Asia. It started in Japan, but now we are really focusing on Japan and Korea, and it has gone through different countries, as you can see. You have probably heard about previous editions of the program, for example, EU Gateway or EU Business Avenue. The EU Business Hub is the continuity of this program, and you should know that the team working on the EU Business Hub also worked on the previous edition of the program, so we're really aiming to build on the previous experience, the previous network that we built, to really offer the best experience to our participants. What is the EU Business Hub? I will just provide you a short overview of what the program is about. So it's an EU-funded program that supports EU SME and startup that are focused on three key sectors, the green, digital, and healthcare sectors, to enter two markets in Asia, so Japan and the Republic of Korea. During the 4 years of the program, we will organize in total 10 business missions in each of the country. And for each business mission, 50 innovative companies will be selected to participate. Now, a quick overview in numbers of the program. As I mentioned, the program focuses on 3 key sectors. We have the green and low carbon technologies, the digital solution, and the healthcare and medical equipment. The mission at KIMES will be focused on healthcare and medical equipment, but we really target a broad range of diverse, innovative companies that are active in various subsectors. So, for example, assistive technologies, ICT for healthcare, telemedicine and remote health monitoring, nanotechnologies, AI application in healthcare, and so on. So we really want to have a broad scope of different companies participating to the mission. Then, as I mentioned, we are focused on 2 target markets for the program, so Japan and the Republic of Korea. But for now, the missions targeting healthcare and medical equipment companies are only happening in the Republic of Korea. And we, as I mentioned, we have 20 business missions over the 4 years, 10 missions in each country, and 50 companies per missions. Now we can provide you a small overview of the timeline. So as you can see on the slide, the KIMES business mission will take place from the 18 to the 22 March 2026 in Seoul. and it will be the fifth business mission that we organize in the country. We also have the semiconductor business mission coming up in February, and we already did 3 business missions. We did one about healthcare and medical equipment last year, but the difference that we have this year is that we will be exhibiting directly at the fair, so we will be at KIMES, because for the previous business mission, we had our own event venue. So this is really the first business mission where our companies will be exposing at the fair directly. So we think it's a very positive step. We also have other business mission coming up after 2026. We will have another about healthcare and medical equipment in 2027, but we have also others about green and low carbon technologies and digital solutions. This is the timeline for Korea, but we also have business missions happening in Japan. We did already 4, and we have 6 other missions coming up. So if you would like more information about the missions in Japan, you can always check our website or subscribe to our newsletter to receive the news that you need. Maybe a small introduction about the benefits for the participating companies. So the benefits, the participating companies will so have services during the business mission, but they will also be prepared before. So we are working with our local team, and the idea is really to provide the company with all the information they need before starting the business mission. So you will receive information, for example, about how to do business in the Republic of Korea, or market information about the country, and so on. Also, the program will offer participants with pre-arranged meeting. So the idea is that our matchmaking team active in Korea will find local companies that might be interested in collaborating with you, so that when you arrive at the business mission, you already have some meetings that are planned with potential company for collaboration. Then we have, yeah, as I mentioned, the 4 days exhibitions at KIMES. So we will have a EU pavilion at the fair, and the idea is that each company has its own booth and can exhibit there with the other EU companies. Then concerning the support, we provide you with some logistical support. So for example, we can book the hotel, we will create a business catalog to promote the company and introduce the company to the local market. We will have people available at the fair to help you in the translations of the conversation, and so on. We also have the hotel accommodation that is included in the participation. So the program support up to €1,000. So it's for 1 room during the 4 nights of the business mission for the companies. So this means that if you would like to stay longer, we can book the hotel for you, but the additional night will be at your own expense. And then we also provide financial support for the customized services. So this means that through the program, you can order some services. So it can be, for example, booth installation and decoration, printing, translation support, information about the certification procedure, and so on. So that you can order via the program. And we reimburse 80% of the full price of the services, and it's up to €1,000 per company. So this means that the program covers nearly everything except the travel. So basically, the companies have to book their flight ticket themselves at their own expense, but for the rest, it's covered by the program. Voilà. Now I will let the floor to my colleague Radhavi.
Thank you, Laura, for the wonderful presentation. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the session today. My name is Radhavi, and I'm part of the local unit here in South Korea. I'm going to briefly go over the market opportunities in the South Korean healthcare sector. The South Korea's healthcare and medtech sector is advancing rapidly, backed by innovation, government support, and strong local champions. The subsectors we have showcased here are four high potential sectors that are especially attractive for European collaboration. In the assisted technology and medical equipment subsectors, some companies have gained a global footprint through exports. Domestically, the demand is rising for mobility aids, home care robotic products, and wearable clinical device integration. Though strong local OEMs and fragmented procurement remain challenges. ICT and AI in healthcare accounts for 1.6 of the global market share. Domestically, it is growing through diagnostic AI and workflow automation, supported by regulatory pilots, while data localization, privacy, and clinical evidence requirements pose domestic hurdles. Then, as we move on to telemedicine and remote health monitoring, the sector is expanding regionally with hybrid care models driving adoption. Domestic challenges include integration with EMRs, local workflows, and strict data privacy compliance. Moving on to regenerative medicine and tissue engineering, which accounts for 1.3 of the global market share. The domestic sector here sees major investments in biologics and CDMO capabilities by companies like Samsung, Lotte, and Celltrion. But growth is tempered by complex regulatory landscape. Together, these sectors highlight South Korea's most promising opportunities for European companies seeking strategic partnerships. Building on these opportunities, several European firms have already established successful collaborations in South Korea. We will now move on to the success stories to get to know a bit more of the collaborations between European companies as well as the Korean counterparts here. For example, Samsung Biologics has signed contracts with European pharma, while Philips Healthcare partnered with a domestic university to co-develop AI-driven imaging solutions. These stories show that strategic alliances can deliver both commercial and clinical impact, providing a proven pathway for new European entrants. Building on these successes, there are several collaboration models already in play and more potential ahead. The current models include acquisitions and investments, joint R&D and co-development, and clinical validation pilots in South Korean hospitals. These approaches have given European firms both market access and credibility in South Korea. Looking forward, regulatory sandboxes open the door to test AI and telehealth solutions under evolving rules. Cross-manufacturing alliances allow European companies to license products to South Korean OEMs for local production, and public procurement opportunities create direct entry points for firms with unique solutions. These models become even more compelling when we consider the domestic market realities. South Korea's medtech market still relies heavily on imports, accounting for more than half of its products, leaving a clear opening for advanced European technologies. The market is further attractive because of the fast-track approval processes, especially in regenerative medicine, which allows new solutions to reach patients quickly. In addition, strong government support and targeted incentives make Korea unusually welcome to international partners. By bringing expertise in compliance, distribution, and cutting-edge technology, European companies can address these gaps and establish a strong foothold in the market. In short, South Korea offers not just a market, but a collaborative environment where European firms can thrive. This was just a brief background on market dynamics and opportunities here in South Korea. Thank you for your time again. I will now pass it on back to my colleague to walk us through the rest of the session.
So now let's move into the business mission that we are presenting today, the EU Business Hub at KIMES 2026. This business mission will take place in March 2026 from the 18th to the 22nd in Seoul, the Republic of Korea. Companies participating in this business mission will receive a tailored coaching support since the moment they are selected. You will have a assigned coach that will help you prepare the agenda of B2B meetings tailored to your strategy and to your project. Also, will help you with the accommodation, and we explain you how to do business in Republic of Korea. Also, selected companies for this business mission will exhibit at the EU Pavilion at KIMES 2026 for 4 days. KIMES is the Korean International Medical Equipment Show, one of the key trade fairs in this sector in South Korea. And as my colleagues mentioned, the booth here is covered by the program. We will also help with a targeted promotion of your products and services, and you will have full 4 days of B2B matchmaking sessions at the trade fair, and also a wide opportunity to network with local stakeholders. For this business mission, we are looking for European SMEs and startups active in the healthcare and medical equipment industry or related sectors. This includes assistive technologies and medical equipment, ICT for healthcare, telemedicine and remote health monitoring, nanotechnology in healthcare, AI applications in healthcare, regenerative medicine and tissue engineering. So, if you belong to any of these subsectors, you are welcome to apply for this business mission. And here we have the agenda of this specific business mission. It will be a 5-day business mission, but in this case, we have a small slightly different. It's slightly different because this case, the business mission will start on a Wednesday and will finish a Sunday from the 18th to the 22nd of March. The first day we'll have the welcome and briefing sessions and the study tour, so you can organize the week and get to know the participant that will be exhibiting at the KIMES 2026. And from Thursday to Sunday, you will have the exhibition, networking at the and B2B meetings at the trade fair, KIMES 2026. Also on Thursday, the second day, you will have the business networking reception. And in the last day, after 4 days of B2B meetings, we will have a post-business mission debriefing. Here we have an example of how the EU Pavilion will look like. So all the participants will be exhibiting together, but each company will have an individual booth. And here we brought some pictures from previous business missions, so you can see how the pavilion looks like, and how companies will be exhibiting. And here, the upper right part of the screen, you will see the participants of the previous edition of Healthcare and Medical Equipment Korea 2025 business mission. And here we also brought some images from previous editions of KIMES, the Korean International Medical Equipment Show, as we said, one of the key trade fairs in this sector in South Korea. And here we have the timeline of this business mission. So if you are interested in participating in this business mission, you need to submit the application form before the deadline. As you can see on the screen, the application process has 2 steps, the expression of interest form, but the application form, but we will go through it just in a couple of minutes. In November, we will communicate the results of the selection. Early in December, selected companies will have the online pre-departure meeting with the coaches. And finally, in March 2026, selected companies will embark in the business mission to South Korea. And now let's see who can apply, because we do have eligibility criteria to apply to our business missions. As we mentioned, these business missions are for European SMEs and startups. And here we have 6 requirements that companies need to fulfill. First is in case of SMEs, exist for more than 5 years and be able to demonstrate 3 years of financial figures. And in case of startups, to exist for 3 years and be able to demonstrate 2 years of financial figures. The second requirement is to be entirely or majority EU owned and have the headquarters in the European Union. The third requirement is to be active and operational in one of the economic sectors covered by the program, either as a producer, subcontractor, engineering company, but please note that business consultants are not eligible to participate in our business missions. The fourth point, this is a recommendation rather than a strict requirement, is to have a proven track record of international business cooperation outside the European Union. The fifth point is to have a sufficient turnover and number of people employed to successfully enter the target market. And the sixth point is to have a solid business strategy for entering the Japanese and South Korean markets. We are aware that expanding to South Korea is not easy. That's why each SME and startup can participate in up to 3 business missions distributed between both target countries, with the opportunity to engage in a maximum of 2 business missions in the same country. This means that a company can participate in up to 2 business missions in South Korea and a third business mission to Japan, or 2 business missions in Japan and a third business mission to South Korea. This is totally up to you. And now, yes, let's go to the application process, how to apply to this business mission. It's just a few steps that you have to follow, and everything happens on our website. So first is the registration. You can access our website, eubusinesshub.eu, and in these green boxes that you see on screen, you can create your own account. Here you can just register, fill in and providing information on your email address, password, contact person details, company name, country, and a VAT number. Once you have your own account created, you can submit the expression of interest form. You can log in on our website and you will see the business missions that are at the moment open for application. At this stage, you just need to select the business mission you are interested in and fill in the expression of interest form. In this expression of interest form, you will be required to share more information on your company details, contact person details, business activities, and motivation. Once we receive your expression of interest form, the evaluation team will check if you fulfill the 6 points that we just saw. So if the evaluation teams that considers you fulfill all the 6 requirements, you will be deemed eligible to participate in that business mission. And in that case, you will be invited to submit the application form. On the contrary, if your company is deemed not eligible for that specific business mission, know that you can always reach out for feedback, because your company will be eligible for another business mission. Here, I just want to make it clear that the expression of interest form is not a complete application process, as companies that have been deemed eligible will still have to submit the application form. And this is the last step of the process. Companies that have been deemed eligible can log in on the members area on the website and complete and submit the application form within the set deadline. Then all these applications will be assessed by independent experts using predefined criteria. And again, if your company is unsuccessful, you can always reach out for feedback, as you can be eligible and better fitted for another business mission. I just wanted to highlight 3 points here. First, that application is a 2-step process composed of the expression of interest form and the application form. And you need to complete both forms to apply for a business mission. The second point I want to highlight is that the application form is meant to give you the opportunity to showcase your activity in the best way possible. So we really invite you to take your time to properly detail each of the categories. And lastly, the application form you will be requested to share more information about your company details, business profile, business activities, international strategy, and participant details. And now I'll give the floor to my colleague Laura, so she can share more tips and tricks for a successful application.
Yes, thank you, Paolo, and thanks for explaining the process. I think it's important that it is clear for everyone. So as mentioned, don't hesitate to contact us if you have any question or is something that you don't understand or anything. You can always contact us or send it in the chat now. Now I will try to provide you with some tips and tricks to help you in building your narrative and convincing the assessment team of experts that your company is ready for the mission. So let's go over what makes a successful EOI. So as mentioned, the expression of interest is really the first document that your company will enter into the system after the creation of your account. Its goal is to express your interest for the business mission. So what is important in it is that you provide as much details as possible. This will also save you time when you will fill up the application because the information will be reused. Then try to be as descriptive as possible. The information that you provide will be refined and more detailed in the application, but it's already a good basis and it has to show us a bit a snapshot of why your company is a good fit for the program. We need to understand what you're doing and proposing and why you would like to join the program. Then don't hesitate to reach out. We have a list of contacts. We will share it with you just after. Those persons are available to help you, support you, and maximize your chance of participating to the mission. And lastly, don't hesitate to ask for feedback, especially if your company is made ineligible, because sometimes it can be because your company is too young, but this means that you might be eligible for another mission next year, for example. Or it can also be that your product or service is not in scope of this business mission, but it can be in scope of another business mission. So our objective is to help you to maximize your chance for the KIMES business mission, but also for the following missions. Now we will go over some do's and don'ts in your application. So the application, as mentioned, comes after the expression of interest. And I think in the application, the most important is to provide a detailed description of your go-to-market strategy and really make it very specific to the South Korean market. So key elements need to be there. So we have the target audience. You should provide information about what is the target audience, which kind of company you're looking to meet, what if there are any specific stakeholder that you have already identified. We don't ask for names of specific companies, but the idea is to understand the kind of stakeholders that you are willing to contact. And this also will help once you will be selected. We will try to provide you with a list of preference for the matchmaking. So this will help us in provide you a list of relevant stakeholders. Then the second information that really need to be detailed in your application is what makes your company unique and competitive, especially in regards to the Korean company that are active in your sector. And the third point is why you would like to enter the Republic of Korea. Why specifically this market, and if you have already specific connection or synergies, or if you are looking for a specific connection and synergies. Also, we would like to receive as many details as possible concerning your pricing strategy and really highlight the key differentiator of your company comparing to other companies already active on the market. Now about the don't, it seems logical, but avoid a generic description of your go-to-market strategy, of your target audience, and of your business activities and profile. The objective is really for us to understand what you're doing and why you would like to participate to the mission. So this is the information based on which the expert will assess your application. So it's always better if we have more information. And also during the application, you will see that we will ask you for some numbers. Please try to be consistent in the numbers that you provide, because we already had some application where the numbers were not consistent and it doesn't make sense. Voila. Now I will provide you with a small example. You will see that you will have to answer several questions during the application form. One of the questions will be to provide a short description of your international business strategy, especially with regard to the target market of the business mission. So a good example of answer would describe the overarching ambition of the company and the relevance of this international expansion. It will also provide rational details on why specifically they want to expand in the Republic of Korea. It will provide details about the company product and why is internationalization key. And also it will explain a bit the strategy, the steps that the company has taken already or will be taking to achieve its ambition. If it's relevant, the company can also provide some current involvement abroad and lessons learned, but it's not mandatory. And a bad answer to this question would be to provide a too generic description and definition. It would not address the reason why the company would like to enter the target market and does not provide the why and the how behind the ambitions and the next steps. So I hope these tips and tricks help. As I mentioned, we have a full team of people that are there to support you in your application process. So don't hesitate to contact the team. We work with a system of cluster. So each country is part of one cluster. So you can always reach out to the email address on the slide. If you have any questions, they're there to help you. I don't know, a question about, for example, how you can fill your EOI or your application, about the timeline, about the level of details that you should provide, and so on. So never hesitate to contact them to make sure that you provide the right information. And this slide close the presentation. So could you please all scan the QR code because it's important for us to collect your feedback about the session to improve our next sessions. So feel free to answer the questions. And lastly, also don't hesitate to follow us on social media. We are active on LinkedIn, on X, and on YouTube. This will be helpful for you if you would like to receive the news about the upcoming business mission or see any pictures of previous business mission and so on. We also have testimonials of companies, so you can find there a lot of information. Same for our newsletter. If you would like to receive a notification when we are opening new business missions, it can always be useful. You can also find all the information on our website, eubusinesshub.eu. You have there all the information that we presented today. You can also contact us via our email address, support@eubusinesshub.eu. Don't hesitate if you have any question. And also don't forget to apply if you're interested in the KIMES business mission. The deadline is on the 31st of October 2025.